Hello everyone and welcome to the Magic Show where you must be in it to win it. As always, I'm Jake and today I'll be going over an Oviya Automech Artisan deck. The moment this was spoiled, I think all of us knew this was going to be a powerhouse. I can't believe that Elvish Piper has been power crept. Oviya is a 1/2 for 3 colorless and a green that states each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. This means any creature. Even if one of your opponents is attacking another, their creatures have trample. She also has an activated ability that reads, pay a green and tap it. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Now, we have seen something like this in Elvish Piper and Monster Manual before. However, what makes this different is that it sits in the command zone. You're essentially dropping at least one massive threat per turn. Having enough threats shouldn't be a problem, especially in green. The point of this deck is to get your commander's ability off as much as possible while having draw engines online to keep the fun going. The main strategy in this deck is to get out the draw engines, untap effects to keep abusing Oviya's ability. At a certain point, 8/10/10s will overwhelm your opponents. Now, the ramp in green is pretty self-explanatory. Multiple ramp spells and mana dorks are included here. 3 visits, nature's lore, rampant growth, you've seen these all before. Exploration. Now, this with 4 lands starting hand is a turn to Oviya, but I hope the other 2 cards in your hand are worth it if you're keeping that kind of hand. We also have Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, Fanatic of Rones, which can tap for 4 once you activate Oviya's ability, probably. Steve's gonna go get you that land just to thin out your deck a little bit. Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, Emerald Medallion, which I might switch out for either another mana dork or maybe something like a big threat. Lastly, we have Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, and Old Namo. These 2 creatures can alleviate Oviya removal because it'll generate the mana to cast these big threats. Now, removal in this deck is scarce as you want to overwhelm your opponents as fast as possible with huge creatures. I guess you can call this deck player removal, but we do have Beast Within, which is a green staple in terms of targeted removal. Apex Altasaur, which is a fantastic creature removal spell upon ETB. Terrastodon can remove up to 3 of those tricky non-creature permanents. Kogla the Titan Ape will kill a creature on ETB and destroy an artifact or enchantment upon attack. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre destroys something on cast but doesn't do much else, lol. Keep in mind, cast triggers do not apply when using Oviya's ability. He also has Indestructible and Annihilator 4, of course. Did somebody say Annihilator? It that betrays. Pathrazor of Ulamog with Annihilator 3. And card advantage is crucial in this list to keep the magic going. See what I did there? First up, Elemental Bond, Guardian Project, Garruk's Uprising, all green stables that ensure card draw whenever one of your huge monsters hits the field. Rishkar's Expertise will allow you to draw a gazillion and play something for free. Garruk Primal Hunger will probably only see the field for 5 seconds max each game. Unfortunately, his -3 kills him. Return of the Wild Speaker. There will be rare instances where the second ability on this card benefits you more than the first. Dawnglade Regent. Keeping the Monarchy should be pretty easy in this deck and the hexproof is very nice. Disciple of Freyalise. There will be a time in the game when sacrificing one will benefit the greater good of your deck. Talking about greater good, now that I think of it, I possibly maybe card, actually. Wow, I can't believe that just hit me. Garruk's Pack Leader, another solid card draw. Regal Force will draw a lot on ETB late game, hopefully. Soul the Harvest is great. Vaultboard Tyrant, this will be the best card draw creature in the deck as it triggers itself and gains you life every time. O'Hare Chasm should be hitting a decent creature every time it triggers. Orin Frostrang will draw a decent amount of cards and also give your creatures Death Touch, which will work very nicely with the trample that Oviya gives. The Great Henge, I know it has a steep price, but it gains you life, buffs your creatures, and draws you a card. It is definitely worth the price. When it comes to this category, it's honestly personal preference. Any of the giant green creatures, Eldrazi and other colorless giants will work great. I've left a good list in the considering tab of my mocks field, which I will attach in the description below. Here's a glimpse of what I went with. World Spine Worm, a 15/15 that leaves you a going away present. Triplicate Titan is a potential 11/11 with Oviya's artifact ability that flies, has vigilance, and trample. Darksteel Colossus, a worse Blightsteel, but it's a big body with indestructible. Verdant Sun's Avatar, the life gain potential is very enticing. Vigor will make combat even more of a disaster for your opponents. Impervious Great Worm, I don't need to say much here, it's an indestructible 16/16. Giant Adaphage with enough combats will create an army. Sire of 7 Death, I just really wanted to use this card. Archetype of Endurance provides hexproof. Now moving on to the high synergy cardboard, Seedborn Muse, Seraph the Vampire's Fang, 1000-Year Elixir, fantastic untap effects, especially Seedborn Muse, which can be used to activate your commander every turn. Not just every one of your turns, every single turn. Concordant Crossroads, Surak and Goreclaw, 2 good haste enablers that ensure value immediately. Quilled Great Worm, buffing your creatures even bigger is a very nice complement to your commander's trample effect. Kodama of the East Tree can go dummy with Oviya by giving the ability to place down 2 threats at once. Galta Stampede Tyrant. Have you ever wanted to dump your entire hand in one full swing? This Galta is as advertised. Void Winner, a nice card to make your opponents dislike you more than they already do. Your game menders are Craterhoof Behemoth. With enough creatures on your board, Craterhoof will secure the game for you. Pathbreaker Ibex will hit hard every time it swings, potentially ending the game. Zopandrel, double the power of your creatures every combat. Yes, please. Blightsteel Colossus, this card deserves no introduction as it is my favorite in all of Magic. The walking one-shot was my first inclusion in Oviya. Your maybes. Greater Good will protect your creatures from exile and give value for board wipes. Patron of the Orochi, a potential powerhouse of an untap effect that I'm considering. Meteor Golem, another ETB destroy effect. Elvish Piper Monster Manual. Didn't include these two since I have one in the command zone, but maybe just to be safe. Nyx Bloom Ancient, Vorinclex Voice of Hunger if you want an obscene amount of mana. Oviya will be a very fun deck to pilot that can be built in the way I've shown here, or the Artifact Vehicle route, which does seem very interesting. I did include one vehicle in Reaver Titan. I am excited to try the deck, and we'll see about optimization with game time and common suggestions. As always, thank you all for watching, and never forget, Oviya is here to drop massive threats like they're hot potatoes, and if you're not terrified yet, just wait until my turn 3 Blightsteel.